Contestant number 1 is Mallika Sothinathan. Mallika Sothinathan, everything must go. Everything must go. Mallika Sothinathan.
Good morning, fellow members and most welcome guests. Everything must go. When you hear this phrase, what comes in your mind? Any takers? I see and hear a silence because I think all of you are thinking. Everything must go is a very deep statement, and this was a gift that was given to me by my dad, who recently passed away. My dad would love this phrase, and this goes back when I was in grade 9. And we were just going in for I think I was going into grade 10, preparing for my boards, and my dad decided to buy a house, and we had to move. So we were living in a nice apartment, and then we just moved into the house. I was super excited. I thought, wow, I can now go anywhere I want to. But what happens? When we moved into the new house, we were expected to pack our things. And my dad said, everything has to go because, you're going into a new place, you need to adjust. I forgot the word adjust. I focused on everything must go, and I started grabbing this item, that item, and tried to pile. Little did I remember that I was actually going to share my room with my brother, who had his everything as well. And we both started jumping at each other. And then what happens? I told my dad, Dad, can I take my transistor, which really didn't work well? But if you moved it around and shaked it around and put it close to your ear, it would work. He said, yes, you can bring that because that's close to your heart. So I guess in everything must go, what is close to your heart can also come. That was the message. As years progressed and I realized more, the second incident happened when I immigrated to Canada. And I again asked my dad, what should I take? We only had 2 suitcases. And I thought, what could I fit in those 2 suitcases? And I started grabbing all my best clothes, all these other items that I had, the sound system. I love music. So I wanted to put all the musical instruments in there. And I started hoarding. And what happens? Both my suitcases were full. Well, I could not leave my favorite dress behind. So I put that in and I sat on my suitcase and I said, no, I'm going to make it fit. And I sat like that. Really, technically. And then I tried to close it. My dad saw me and he said, I did say everything must go, but I said what you need. I said, I know, but I need all these things. I'm starting a new life. I need to take everything. I said, don't become a hoarder. I said, no, but I'm not a hoarder. I'm just taking everything. You told me way back. And so I moved to Canada. And I took my 2 suitcases and I was very happy. And I said, you know what? At least I have some of the things that I wanted to take. And in that room, little did I realize it was a small, tiny room. And I could not fit my 2 suitcases, all those stuff. And they had to stay in the suitcase because we couldn't have a cupboard to keep the things. So as they say, what you see out there is all green. It's true. So here I was living off the suitcase and I realized I really didn't need all of that. And then the whole idea of everything must go really came to sense that you really need to adjust to your surrounding and you really don't need to take everything with you. Fast forward, actually, not fast forward, rewind. A few years before my wedding, my dad was actually in a touring job and I had to go and support him everywhere. So I used to help And that's when it all started. And I didn't know to cook. So I volunteered. I said, Dad, I just got a break from my work. I would like to come and try to help you out, and I want to cook. So he said, okay, come over. And I packed all the pulses, lentils, you name it, all the rice stuff. And I went there. And my dad was laughing. He said, I have this all. You didn't have to bring all this. Because you know what? You should have just come and I would have taught you how to cook and you learn from me. And that's all it was. So again, all this hoarding didn't work, finally. When my dad passed away, everybody was shoving things in his mouth, right? That's for the rights. And everybody was wrapping with a lot of love and affection, I understand. And there's so much of stuff. This is his cupboard. Why I'm standing in front of it. This is full of stuff. We've given everything away because he went into the dust. He got close to earth. And when I had the opportunity to do the last rites. So when I collected the dust in my hand, I realized he mixed himself with the earth and there was nothing left. So everything he left behind, but he left a legacy behind. People loved him, people from all over the world. Even today, yesterday, we had people coming over. And they all talked and remembered the memories. So what was the message? Everything go means it's not the material things that we gather all through the years and worry and create all these problems for us. It is actually what legacy you're leaving behind. What kind of adjustment you're doing with your life and what you really need. You just need to go with it. So everything eventually, as I saw with my own eyes, becomes dust and it mixes with the earth. And it was initially I was very nervous when I did the whole rituals, but when I could understand the deeper value of life. So again, today I'm taking my mother back to my country in Canada, and lo, I'm telling the same thing. Everything must go, so you don't need to take so much. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmasters, and most welcome, guests.